Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with another 12 by 12 layout for you. And yes, I'm using a cut file, and I'm also showing you just there, I am using the, sorry about that, the waste of one of my cut files that I'd already cut out to mat my layout on, if that makes sense. So I cut down this piece of, it's a bit hard to tell, but it's a shimmery paper. You can sort of see it reflecting off the light. It's got crosses on it, or plus signs, and it is from One Canoe 2 Creekside collection, I think. I have a lot of One Canoe 2 supplies left, so this layout is using all One Canoe 2, but from a variety of collections. And I've just distressed the edges of that piece of 12 by 12 paper that I cut down. And as I said, I'm using one of the waste parts of my one of my cut files that I cut out. So Virginia does this a lot, and I sort of took inspiration from her. And I've kept most of my the sheets of 12 by 12 white cardstock I use to cut my cut files out on. I keep most of them that are usable, that I can do this with, that I can kind of mount my pattern paper on and create a nice white cardstock border. So I am using a cut file here called Flower Pot, and it's super cute. It's a little teapot with flowers. The photos are actually just of Lincoln. One of them, they're not both outside, but one, he was helping me with the gardening. He was wearing gardening gloves, which are ridiculously too big for him. And he was helping me while I was raking up all the leaves, you can see behind him. And then the other photo is actually of him wearing some of my exercise gloves for weightlifting and things. And he's doing a bit of a Home Alone moment, but he's putting his hands on either side of his face and he's actually saying, "Oh no." So they're not both gardening related, but because the other photo is gardening related, I've kind of gone with the gardening nature outside theme, and we're just running with it. So I have pulled out all these scraps from a whole heap of different One Canoe 2 collections. So I think there's Saturday Afternoon, there's Creekside, there's Goldenrod, there's Willow. Is that all of them? I have a lot. I love One Canoe 2, and I really wish they had kept making scrapbook supplies. I will say they are all very similar. Their colour palettes are very similar. The main difference between all of their collections is they use a different metallic element each time. So they have got a rose gold, they've got gold, they've got a dirty gold, they've got a matte gold, they've got different shades of golds and metallics in their pages. And then Creekside is silver, I believe. So that's the one thing that is a bit annoying. I still mix them all together because when you only use small amounts of it all, you can't really tell. And I am happy to mix metals. I have no issue with that. But definitely that's probably the biggest difference between them. You can definitely mix all of their collections together in terms of their kind of colour palettes, and they all work beautifully. So I just have all of my One Canoe 2 stuff together in one kind of section or one baggie. And just pull from the whole thing. And I only have the Creekside in 12 by 12 paper. I do wish I had others. I was sort of waiting to see if Spotlight would have the Twilight 12 by 12 paper pad on special, but they never had it on special enough that I wanted to pick it up. So I had all of them in 6 by 6 or 6 by 8. So, I've got plenty of paper. I don't need more. But if they had have done, super special, I probably would have picked it up. Okay, so I'm just playing around with placement of my cut file of my photos. I have no real kind of direction with this layout. I'm just playing around. It was sort of the next one I had left in my album to scrap. And so I'm doing it. I pulled out a few things that I thought might work. These, brown pieces, I suppose, are fussy cut from pattern paper from, I think it's Creekside, and they're actually like logs. So I've cut out, I fussy cut the whole sheet, and I've put a few of those on the page. Up in the top left, the cluster I'm working on now is just some banners, which are cut out from the cut apart sheets from a few of the collections, and I'm just pulling off some of the foam background off some of these dimensional stickers. I thought about maybe using that banner, but ultimately I don't. I do use the rosette there that says "It's a beautiful day." But I actually pull off, I don't know if I've already done it yet, I pull off the foam. So there's actually foam between the "It's a beautiful day" piece and the yellow, and then there's foam between the yellow and, the back. So I actually pull off the two lots of foam and make it much flatter. I've pulled out some wood veneer, which is from Saturday Afternoon, and they are strawberries. And I put a lot of strawberries on this layout because for some reason there's a lot of strawberries in one of the collections. And, these are sort of gardening outside photos. It totally works, right? So I've added them. And now I'm really just sticking everything down. So there's a few things that I want to stick down first, the things that are obviously going on the bottom. So I'm sticking down some of these wood pieces. And then just working my way through. So I'm sticking everything flat, or most things flat. I pop up a couple of bits, but ultimately I'm sticking my photos and the cut file down flat. And I've only popped up a few of the ephemera pieces in each of my clusters. Just as I've said this, I think I say this every layout I do, I am trying to lessen the bulk on my layouts. So I want to add some dimension because I think it looks good, but I'm trying not to go overboard too much. So you can see there, just tucking my photo in. So some of the cut file hangs over. I had to cover up one of the leaf parts just because it was covering too much of my photo, but the other one I leave hanging over. And now I can add the rest of my elements. So I'm just tucking in my little wood pieces, and also then going to come through the sticker sheets and figure out what else I can add. So quite a few of the sticker sheets that I have. So I think I've got Saturday Afternoon, Willow, and something else. Anyway, regardless, you'll see me in a minute. Pull out my sticker sheets and see what I can add. So, that's goldenrod, those ones there. I do decide not to use any of those, but I will come back and add some of the puffy stickers from goldenrod. I think it's goldenrod. So these ones are willow. Oh, and they had some cool indoor plants, but I totally add those. So I'm going to add an indoor plant there to my right hand cluster, and in the end I do come back and add another indoor plant. I add that little teapot in there just because I've, the cut file's a teapot, totally works. And I am going to stick my little strawberry down. I also come back with way more strawberries. I add so many strawberries to this layout. So there's another one I'm tucking in there. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure I end up covering half of that. And then I think that was another strawberry I just added. And another one. So many strawberries. Oh, this one's Creekside. I don't think I used that. So I'm sticking down that teapot, and then I think I pop up that other potted plant. And I don't think I've stuck down that top cluster yet with the banners, but I am going to do that soon. Really, I'm just sticking it all together. I've gone through a bit of a spate of not editing my videos very much and leaving the whole process in from start to finish, and all I've done is speed it up. I think some people prefer that. I know some people like it when I edit out some of the things that take a bit more time, but ultimately these particular process videos were not that long, so I just sped them up. I do a little bit of kind of pre-planning before I film. I don't do a heap, but I do fiddle around a little bit to see if I'm happy enough with my ideas, and then I come in and I film. So I don't always just come and sit down with no plan of where I'm heading. I often do have a plan, and that does make the video come together a lot quicker. Sometimes when I don't really have a plan, I'm just kind of playing and seeing where inspiration strikes and I've turned the camera on. Then I will often edit my video fairly heavily because it takes me much longer to put a layout together. Whereas this, I think, only took me 20 something minutes. So, it wasn't a particularly long layout. So I am just adding, I don't know, was that another strawberry? I think it was. I'm sticking down my wood veneer, and then ultimately I know that cluster just there that I just stuck on the left hand side, it definitely needs something else. So I am going to come back and figure out what else I want to put into that cluster. But for my title, I've just gone with the thickers that come in 2 of the collections. So I've got one that says exhale and then one that says rest up, and just a little plus sign because I want it to say exhale and rest up. So Lincoln was actually sick. He wasn't feeling very well, so we've taken time off childcare and I've taken time off work. And I will do some journaling to that effect down the bottom of my page, but I'll do that off camera. And so I just wanted my title to kind of reflect that, but I also just wanted to use up the thickers that I got in the collection. So I've made this work. It's not perfect, and you can see me faffing about a lot. Now this traditionally is what I would have edited out. So you wouldn't have seen how indecisive I am in regards to my title, and I move it around a lot. So you can see me, I'm still playing around. I do want it to stack up like that, so I'm just going to try and work out how best to get this all stuck down, and ultimately I've decided this placement works well enough for me, so I'm committing and I'm pushing down the foam thickers that are still quite sticky, but the chipboard one, the exhale, will need wet glue to stick down. And then I'm just going to add 3 little hearts, so 1 to each of the clusters, just in that same pink foam. And this is the point where I decide that that left hand cluster just needs something else. So I go back to my willow sticker sheet and I pull out another potted plant, and I'm just popping it up on some foam, and I'm going to add it into that cluster. It just, it needed something. So that is what I'm doing there. And then I will add my little foam heart, and I will add one up to the top as well. So that's 1 in each of the clusters. And then I am going to come in with just a couple of puffy stickers from the Goldenrod collection, I think. Or maybe they're from Willow as well, because I definitely come in with a potted plant. But I think they're Goldenrod. And they're super cute. Yeah, they're definitely Goldenrod. So I just add in 1 puffy sticker to that bottom to the left-hand cluster and the right-hand cluster. I don't put one up the top. There just wasn't one that really worked. But I add a little pot plant to the bottom right, and on the left-hand side I add a teapot with some foliage coming out of it, sticking with the teapot theme. I'm thinking about adding one to the top, but I just couldn't find one that kind of worked, because it would have just been floating around up there, not really connected to anything. So yeah, we just left that. And then I think I'm going to cover my photos and add some splatters. Oh no, I need to stick down exhale first. As I said, this needs wet glue. It's basically not sticky at all, so I need to add some wet glue to that. And then also I will add some splatters, and we are all done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. Just trying to work through some of my older collections and get some stuff moved out of my stash, and just playing around and having fun with my layouts. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful time wherever you are. I certainly am, although my voice is a little croaky. We're in winter here, so things are starting to cool down. So, we're not getting to get out as much as we would like, and it also means I've got a little bit of a cold. So here is my close-up. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.